Today's video we're going to be looking at the McLaren, and we're going to be showing you how to do your infotainment system setup and many more features. So just a quick tip to actually open one of these doors, and these are soft closing. The door handle is located right under here. If you press that, it will release it, and then you can simply just lift it up. That's how you access the door. Now along the side over here you have your normal buttons, as you would do normally if you did have a sports car like this, but normally it's located next to your seat there, but on here it's located on the side. If we get inside, and you do have to get inside these cars a bit different, you actually have to go back in first. That's a quick tip for you, because if you try to go in with your feet first, it's going to be a much more uncomfortable journey. So let's just close the door and close the windows. Right, let's turn the audio off before this content gets flagged. When you're hearing that noise, it's for the seatbelt. So this is the interior. You've got your window controls over here, your door opening latch over here. You have your climate controls located over here. These are swivel wheels, so you can actually control the airflow using this swivel wheel down here. This one up here controls temperature, and you can choose where you want the airflow to come out from here. And this chooses front demisters, rear demisters, internal circulation. This mono button is if you want to, this is dual zone climate control, so if you want to control just your side, make sure that mono's turned on. Then you have AC, then auto, which will regulate the temperature that you set up here. You have your air vents located over here, very tiny nifty air vents, and yeah, they're quite cool. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see that, but when they open up you can actually see through them. Along down here you have your dimmed headlights control, right? So right now it's on auto, and then you have your main beams if you press on there. Then you have your window washer controls on this side, and your indicators located over here. You have your cruise control button located over here, and then obviously your steering wheel with your downshift and upshift, and then your instrument cluster located right in front of you there. In terms of any other buttons located on the steering wheel, there are none, which then leads us over onto the center console and the center armrest. So if I lift this up, you have a big enough center armrest for, I don't know, leave in the comment what you can fit in there. This is the key, right? And if you hold this button down, you can pull out the actual physical key. So I can't actually do that with one hand, but push that button down and the physical key you just pull from the ring. To lock the doors, you press this button over here. To open the front, or the helmet as I call it, press this button over here. You have your gear selectors, hazard light, handbrake. You can choose what sort of driving mode you're on, and then you have your actual aero setting as well. So you can choose your handling situation using this. So can't remember what N stands for. S for sports, T for track. Aero, I believe, is the wing at the back you can lift up and down, and then P is for performance, same again. So you can shift it around how you want it. If you select manual, then you're literally left with your shift up and down sticks up here. You've got your start stop button over here. I don't believe this has a glove compartment. I could be wrong. I don't think it does. And then you have your infotainment system located right here. So these are all buttons. Now the buttons up here indicate whatever option is going to be listed over here for you. Now this is touchscreen as well, so you can actually navigate through the touchscreen. So go down. Now to connect your phone to the McLaren, it's pretty simple. Let me just get my phone out over here. First of all, you need to begin with making sure that your Bluetooth is enabled. So make sure you're in your settings, in your Bluetooth menu, and that's all turned on and enabled. Once you're in there, click onto phone. It says no device connected or no device found. So we're gonna press that middle button to go back to the home screen to begin with. And then what we're gonna do is go over to settings. Once we go over to settings, we're gonna go over to Bluetooth, and within Bluetooth, Discoverable is turned off. We're gonna turn Discoverable on. Oh, no, I just cancelled that by accident. So Discoverable is on. We need to go onto our phone now. Go back onto the Bluetooth menu, which is closed. So go back onto the Bluetooth menu, and my Bluetooth is automatically going to be searching. Bottom there we go, McLaren MP4 12C. Click on there. And then it's asking for a code. Now that code is actually displayed on your screen there. So all we got to do is copy that code, punch it in. Once we punch that key in, so now you can see that the device is now connected, and it says over here MIA's 23 Ultra. It's all connected. From here we have call connection enabled over here. So just a heads up for those of you, if you're buying one of the early models of the MP4 12C McLarens, the Bluetooth connection here is solely for phone calls. So it's for your phone call use, to access your contacts and for hand-free use on there. I've not actually given it permission to see my contacts, so it's not going to appear, but that's mainly what its use is for. So when you go into media, it's not actually going to show you your media content here. However, if you do want your own media, if you open up this part over here, you have your auxiliary port located down there along with a USB port. So you can actually plug in a USB port or something to stream your media from there. So that's another option for you. Now if you click on this button over here, it will mute your audio, unmute, and if you click on this, it will pull up your radio stations. You can turn on and off the radio using that button over here. So once it's lit, it's on, and you've got your navigation here as well. So to use your navigation, once it loads, all you need to do is go into menu, and then you want to go to new destination. Once you go to new destination, go by postcode, simplest way to search. Click onto postcode, and then you just type in your postcode, TF9, and it's going to start doing a search. And we're just going to do that one, and we're just going to say Abbey Road. Now this is a completely random address, and then go here, and there we go. Now as you just saw, or you may not have seen, I tried to change the zoom with this. Now this would have been, and McLaren please take note of this, this would have been a great function to zoom in and out of the screen right there. So I think that was a missed opportunity there. However, you can't even zoom out like this. You need to use that physical zoom out button. There are a lot of things McLaren should have done in this vehicle to have a better user experience, but I believe that's going to be for a different video. But that is your how-to guide for the McLaren MP4 12C. If you have any questions or you want me to highlight anything else, then please leave us a comment. Please help the channel by liking and subscribing. It really helps us. It's a free channel. We try to educate people as much as we can, and we really appreciate your support. Until the next video, bye.